to be true and with the format and the pattern we're using, it's 1 times 10,000 plus 4 times 1,000 plus 3 times 100 plus 6 times 10, and this is where it gets long, that's why I didn't really want to give you a super long one, but got to see it, plus 5 times 1 plus 8 times 1/10 plus 1 times 1/100th. Okay, that's about as long as it gets there for us. And I wouldn't really want to do one that much longer with the student, because really once they move this little step right here, that's about as hard as it gets going in that side of the decimal. But it's tougher. The fractions are kind of what mess students up here, what I've seen in past years, or if there is a number that's missing. So my next step is that I'm going to, not a number that's missing, but if a number is a 0. So I'm going to have a number over here that has zeros in it, so you can see what that would look like. Let's say I have the number 807 and 1/100th, 807.01. Okay, that would look like this: 8 times 100 plus, and I was training students last year to just go ahead and put 0 times 10 like this, and then after a while we stopped including that because we learned, oh, if it's a 0 times 10 you don't really have to put it in. But this sort of helped us understand where all of these were as we went back and forth from the standard form to where the expanded form was. Plus 7 times 1 plus, and then we could do the same thing here. You could do 0 times 1/10 plus 1 times 1/100th, that way. And that worked. Again, if this is a 0, if I were to rewrite this whole thing a second way, or the way we would eventually move towards would look more like this: 8 times 100 plus, we'd skip it, and it's 7 times 1, 7 in the ones position, plus, we'd skip that, 1 times 1/100th. And that right there is what students really struggled with last year. They had trouble maybe tracking that there was a 10 that was missing, that we went from 100 to 1, and we had this here. And again, it's a challenge on precision to do it that way, but if you look at the line right above it, if students were to do it this way, there would be no penalty or anything less for thinking it through like that. But it is good when they understand that this thing here, this expanded form with base 10 notation version of that number, is the same thing above it. So in class, what we're going to be doing with a worksheet like this is I'm going to be giving students a lot of different numbers and watching what they come up with. Sometimes I ask students to come up with a number for me, and then we write it as a class like this. And again, the ultimate goal is that students are learning how to kind of disassemble, if you will, a number into its base 10 place values so that they understand it more deeply.